As she turned towards the stream, she heard someone calling softly, "My daughter, come." She turned around. An old woman stood by the path, wrapped in faded clothes. "I want to buy fruits for my friend. They are waiting in the market." Neka hesitated. "Mama, it's late though." The woman smiled. "Don't fear, just follow me." When they got to the market square, she saw them. Figures, dozens of them, moving around, selling, laughing. But they were not people. Their faces were pale, their eyes hollow, their movements slow and dreamlike. "She is here," one of the spirits said, voice echoing like wind. "The living one who trades after our time. Join us," another whispered. Neka screamed, threw her tray away, and ran for her dear life. The sun hung low over Umuagu village, spilling golden light on red dusty paths that twisted between clusters of mud houses. The marketplace was already humming with noise, women calling out prices, children chasing each other between stalls, the rhythmic pounding of fufu echoing from the food's corner. It was the kind of day when everything in Umuagu looked alive. But as the day aged, the air always changed. By late afternoon, whispers would begin to rise like mists. Traders started packing up hurriedly, eyes darting at the sky that now blushed with the color of blood orange. The market was known to fall silent before the first star appeared. Everyone knew why. In Umuagu, no one stayed in the marketplace after sunset, not because of thieves, nor because of wild animals, but because of them, the spirits, the ones who traded when the humans slept. After sunset, the spirits would gather at the marketplace, buying and selling different goods the way humans did. Neka balanced a wide tray of fruits on her head. Bright oranges, pineapples, garden eggs, mangoes, and banana bunches that glistened under the dying sunlight. Her steps were graceful, practiced. Every day she walked through the market paths, calling in a voice that was both soft and strong. "Fresh fruits! Buy your sweet fruit here. Orange where the sweet pass sugar." Children adored her. Old women blessed her. She was known for her cheerfulness, her dedication that caught the eyes. Yet, beneath that smile was a heart heavy with responsibility. Her husband, Chijioke, had died 2 years ago, leaving her with a young daughter and a pile of debts. Neka had sworn to herself she wouldn't beg. She would sell until she could now stand on her feet. Every day, she woke up before dawn and walked till her bones ached. But money, as always, came in drops. So when others closed shop before sunset, Neka often stayed a little longer, hawking through the streets. "Just a little more time," she would say. "One more customer can change everything." Her friend Chinwe always scolded her. "Neka, you know the fear. You know that nobody sells after sunset. The spirits will soon come out. Yet, here you are, selling as though you are one of them." Neka would laugh it off. "Please leave that one. All those ones na story. This is just one of those superstitious fears they instilled in us when we were younger. I've never seen any spirit before, and it's not today I will see." Chinwe would shake her head, her voice low. Just pray you never encounter them." That evening, the sun slipped behind the hills faster than usual. Traders began to pack their wares. Mama Obiora, the tomato and pepper seller, shouted at her son, "Obiora, hurry up and arrange these tomatoes so we can leave here. The sun is already setting." The others hurried out of the market, their slippers slapping the ground as if chased by invisible feet. Neka, however, remained. She still had half of her fruits unsold, and the thought of going home with them made her chest tight. As night fell, she walked through the paths leading to the edge of the market, calling softly, "Sweet fruit, oh, fresh orange for your evening." The air suddenly changed, still, heavy, and thick with silence. Crickets that normally chirped at that hour seemed to have stopped. She felt a breeze move through her wrapper, icy and foreign, brushing her neck like whisper. Then she saw him. A tall man stood a few feet away. He was dressed in white, clean, crisp, like someone going to church. But his face was strangely blurred, by the dim lights, and fog surrounded him. Still, his voice was clear when he spoke. "You sell fruits?" Neka hesitated. "Yes, sir." He walked closer, his steps soundless. The air seemed to stretch around him. He looked at her fruits and smiled. "Give me the sweetest one." His hand brushed hers as he took an orange. It was cold, not the cold of water, but the cold of something that should not exist in the living world. "Should I peel it for you?" she asked, forcing a smile. He looked at her with eyes that glowed faintly, like distant lanterns. "No need." He bit into the orange and turned to leave. You never pay," she began, but when she blinked, he was gone, vanished. The road was empty. A cold wind blew across her face, carrying a faint smell of something old and strange, like burnt incense mixed with earth. Her body stiffened. She dropped her tray, fruit rolling into the darkness, then she ran. That night, she barely slept. Every creak of the bamboo door made her jump. Her daughter Ogechi slept peacefully beside her, unaware that her mother's heart was galloping in fear. Morning came with its usual bustle, and for a moment, the nightmare of the previous night felt distant. Neka convinced herself it was just exhaustion. Maybe she had imagined it. But as evening approached again, she still picked up her tray. "Neka," Chinwe called, catching her by the wrists. "You want to go and sell again this night?" "Yes," she said softly. "I must. Ogechi's school fees is due for payment. I need to make more money, no matter how small." "Neka, this thing you are doing won't end well, oh. Abeg, Chinwe, let me hear word." She walked away before her friend could say another word. The sun was already slipping away, the sky painted in crimson streaks. Neka's heart pounded, but she forced herself to keep walking. At first, everything was normal. A few villagers bought from her quickly, eager to return home before darkness fell. But soon, the streets emptied. The silence settled once more. Then, out of nowhere, the air turned cold again. The leaves rustled, though no wind blew. She hugged her wrapper around her body and quickened her pace. Something brushed her ankle. She froze. A small shadow moved beside her, crawling fast across the ground. Her breath caught. It was shaped like a hand, but there was no body attached to it. Neka screamed, dropping her tray, and ran all the way home without stopping once. When she reached her compound, she slammed the door shut, panting. Her hands trembled as she bolted it. For a long time, she sat in the dark, clutching her chest, whispering prayers. But by morning, it all felt like a dream, as if it never happened. Maybe it was her mind playing tricks on her. Maybe she was just tired. The next day, she tried to act normal. Chinwe came by and noticed how stressed Neka looked, and asked her what was wrong. But Neka avoided talking about the night before. She couldn't bear to admit how shaken she was. By sunset, she was out again, though this time she felt uneasy. The shadows seemed longer, the silence heavier. As she passed the path by the old shrine, a man waved her down. He was tall and broad-shouldered, dressed like a traveler. "Madam, I want to buy 2 pineapples," he said, smiling. She handed them to him, happy for the sale. He gave her a crisp note, but when she turned to put the money in her bag and looked back up, he was gone. Completely gone. The road was empty. Neka's knees almost gave way. Her breath came in sharp bursts. She looked at the notes and screamed. The money had turned into a leaf. At this point, the strange happenings were beginning to take a toll on her. The next few nights, Neka refused to go out, now believing that her experiences were not just mere coincidence. But poverty has its way of silencing fear. After a few days, she found herself lifting her tray again, convincing herself she would only walk near her compound, not too far. The moon was bright that night, the air thick with the smell of dust and cold dew. As she turned towards the stream path, she heard someone call softly. "My daughter," she turned. An old woman stood by the path, wrapped in faded clothes. Her eyes were sunken but kind. "My daughter, come. I want to buy fruit for my friends. They are waiting in the market." Neka hesitated. Mama, it's late though. The woman smiled. Don't fear, we only need small fruits. Just follow me. Her voice was gentle, too gentle. Neka's fear melted, replaced by a strange calm. She followed her. The road felt longer than usual. The night seemed thicker. When they reached the market square, the place that should have been dark and empty was now glowing faintly, as if the moonlight had decided to dance on its own. And then she saw them. Figures, dozens of them, moving around, selling, laughing. But they were not people. Their faces were pale, their eyes hollow, their movements slow and dreamlike. The air buzzed with whispers, and every fruit on her tray began to rot at once, melting into black mush. Neka screamed. The old woman turned to her and smiled, and her face began to crumble like ash, revealing a hollow skull beneath. She is here, one of the spirits said, voice echoing like wind. The living one who trades after our time. Join us, another whispered. A cold hand reached out toward her. She turned and ran, barefoot, her wrapper flying. She didn't stop until she reached her hut. She bolted the door, shaking violently, tears streaming down her face. That night, sleep was no refuge. As soon as she closed her eyes and drifted into sleep, she found herself back in the market, but now she was one of them, selling blackened fruits that oozed thick liquid. The spirits laughed with her, called her name and danced around her. When she woke, her bedsheet was damp, and the smell of rotten fruit filled her room. Every night it happened again. The dreams got stronger, the voices louder. Sometimes she would wake and find herself standing outside her hut, barefoot, tray in hand, as if something had called her out while she slept. She no longer had control of herself. Her daughter started crying at night, saying she saw people standing by the window calling her mother's name. It became unbearable. One morning, when she could no longer take it, Neka went to the outskirts of the village, to the home of Mama Ijoma, the most powerful sorceress known around Umuagu. Her hut was dark, filled with the smell of herbs and burning incense. Mama, please help me, Neka sobbed. They won't let me rest. I see them, I hear them every night. Mama Ijoma looked at her quietly for a long time, then nodded slowly. I warned your people. I told them the spirits of Umuagu trade when the sun sleeps. You entered their time. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Now they have marked you as one of their own. Neka trembled. What can I do? You must cleanse your spirits before they take you fully. The old woman gathered items, white clothes, cowries, chalk, 7 candles, and a small gourd of oil. She gave Neka a list of things to bring before sunset. You will go to the river, she said. When the moon is high, dip yourself 5 times. As the water covers you, speak your name aloud and reject their call. Then come back to me. Neka did exactly as told. The night she entered the river, the water felt alive, cold, thick, almost like hands brushing her skin. She trembled but obeyed. I, Neka, reject the spirits of Umuagu. I belong to the living. A sudden wind rose from nowhere, howling through the trees. She felt something lift off her body, like a heavy cloth torn away. She gasped, stumbling out of the river, and fell to her knees. When she looked up, she saw them, the same spirits, standing across the water, their faces unreadable. The old woman among them smiled faintly, nodded, and turned away. Then they vanished. After that night, peace slowly returned. The dream stopped. The air in her house felt lighter. Her daughter no longer cried in her sleep. Even her fruits began to sell faster during the day, as if fortune had returned to her side. The villagers noticed. She doesn't sell at night again, they whispered. She has learned her lesson. Neka kept her vow. As soon as the sky turned orange, she packed her tray and went home, no matter how little she had sold. Sometimes she still passed by the market after sunset, just to glance at the empty stalls. The place always seemed too quiet, too still, yet she could feel eyes watching from the dark. And she would whisper softly, "I have learned, spirit of Umuagu. I know my place now." Then she would turn and walk home, thankful for the second chance she had been given. People still tell her story till today, of the woman who defied the sun and traded in the hour of spirits. And though many laugh it off as superstition, those who live in Umuagu know better. As the sun sinks each evening, the traders pack their baskets, tie their wrappers, and hurry home. And if you walk through the market just after dusk, you might still hear the faint laughter, soft, distant, and echoing between the stalls. But no one looks back, not anymore. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notification to get notified when next I post a new video. Bye!